morning, everybody. Welcome to your gentle flow and deep stretch. My name is Laura Beth. I think y'all know me by now, but you want to cue up your Spotify to More Than Love. It's a playlist we've used before. If you would like to grab your block, we're going to start off in a supported hero's pose. So that could look like you sitting your hips down onto your heels. It could also be a block in between your heels while you sit back down on that. Find something that feels appropriate. If you're using the block especially, you're gonna separate your heels so that you can place it in between. And then stack your shoulders over your hips. Close down your eyes. Let the crown of your head reach up and roll your shoulders back and down. Draw the pit of your belly in and up. Relax your brows, relax your jaw. Breathe. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let the breath travel all the way up your spine. Your belly will expand, your rib cage to full capacity, lifting, opening. And then you exhale to let that soften back down, to empty and to let go. Inhale. And exhale. Just take a couple more rounds just like that. Inhale to lengthen, to ground into your practice, to step out of your day so far. And then exhale to feel everything kind of soften, release. Maybe feel a little bit heavier for a moment. And then you inhale, draw your breath up. And exhale, take it back down. Inhale, the crown of your head is reaching. And exhale, soften, let it go. All right. So here on your supported hero's pose, seated down on your block, let your shoulders keep stacking over your hips. Take an inhale, let the crown of your head reach. So feel your neck get longer. Now if you have degenerative discs or anything like that, you're gonna just keep looking side to side here. But if you feel pretty healthy in the neck and all of that, take an inhale, reach the crown of your head higher. And then exhale, take your chin down towards the notch in your throat. But keep the knots on the fronts of your shoulders rolling back, right? Take an inhale here. And then exhale your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then inhale, bring your chin down. Exhale your right ear to your right shoulder. You can just go side to side here for a moment. If it feels better to you to move into those full neck rolls, circles, you can, as long as whenever your head goes back, you don't cut off your throat, right? You're not closing it off. Once your chin comes back down, let's go in the opposite direction. And then let your chin come down. And then inhale, let the crown of your head reach back up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then exhale, root down through your sits bones. Now inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, drop your right hand in between your shoulder blades. Let your left hand find your right elbow. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Let your right elbow lift. And then exhale, maybe you hinge slightly to the left and get a little stretch right there around your right tricep, your right shoulder. And just make sure you're not dumping down into your spine. You don't want to curve for your lumbar. You want to stay lifted so you're getting a true side body stretch. Now inhale, come right back through center. Reach both arms high. Exhale, drop your left hand in between your shoulder blades. Let your right hand find your left elbow. Roll your shoulders back. Get really long first. And then you exhale, drop your right elbow over to the right, and your left elbow reaches up and over. And you're stretching through your left side body. Breathe. And inhale, take both arms to the sky. Exhale, bind up your hands at the small of your back. If that's not going to happen, like interlacing the fingers, go ahead and grab your elbows and roll your shoulders back. Ooh, my right shoulder, y'all. Lift your chest up. Breathe. Good. If you have your fist, you can reach your fist down towards the block or towards the ground and puff up your chest. Try to keep the palm, the heel of your palm pressing. Take one more inhale. And then slowly release as you exhale. Come onto hands and feet and remove the block out from underneath you. And then stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists for a moment. Lift your feet and roll out your ankles after having, been sitting on them for a little bit. And then drop your tucked toes down to the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands back so that your hips come back to your heels and maybe your shoulders stack over your hips. Now, if that's too much, bring your hands right back down and just be here, stretching out your feet. I usually have to reach back and untuck the pinky toe. It kind of hides underneath my fourth toe. Breathe here. If you want more, your shoulders come over your hips and you just stay right here. Good. Nice, y'all. And then gently bring your hands back down to the ground, lift your feet and roll everything out. I like to wiggle out my toes here as well. And then drop your toes down to the ground. Knees underneath your hips, stack your joints again, and then inhale. Let your soft belly drop down to the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back. Take your navel towards your spine and drop the crown of your head down. Now inhale, roll through back into your cow pose. There's a sway to your low back. And then exhale, tuck your navel, tuck your chin, tuck your tail. And last round here, inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, come into a neutral spine. With your exhale, either flip your fingers out towards the side edge of your mat or all the way back towards your knees. So just find something that feels appropriate to your body this morning, right? Your fingers are still spread out wide. And then same thing, whatever your wrist is doing, inhale, let your soft belly drop down. Find your cow pose. And then exhale to cat pose. Inhale to a cow pose. And exhale to cat pose. Last round. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back into your neutral spine. Flip your fingertips back towards the top of your mat. And then stay right here. Now inhale. Press your right foot long behind you. Dial your right pinky toe down. Stay right here for your exhale. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. Now with your inhale, reach your right heel long behind you. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward next to your right thumb. Lift your left knee and slide your left knee back just a little bit. Now you can have blocks here, right? So whatever it is that you need. We're going to make this a little bit flowy, this practice. So just be here for a moment. Feel your hips gravitationally pull down and slightly forward without dumping or dropping your low back and your hips down, right? So keep pulling the pit of your belly in and up. Now roll your shoulders back. Good. Completely root down into the four corners of your right foot. Now inhale, reach your arms up overhead. So Salamba Anjaneyasana, your supported crescent lunge. Stay right here for your exhale. All right. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. Keep your right knee over your heel or your ankle. Inhale to reach your fingertips higher. Go ahead and pull the pit of your belly back. And then exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Inhale to reach your arms back to the sky. Exhale, drop your hands down. Frame your front foot. Your left hand stays down on your block or down on the earth. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Take your gaze towards your right thumb if it's appropriate. Otherwise, your drishti, your gaze point, could just be to the right side of your room, right? Take one more inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand down and shift your hips back to half split. So straighten your right leg, flex your toes back towards your shin. Keep your hips over your left knee, so I have a tendency to scoot back too much. And then with your inhale, lift your chest and pull your heart forward. On the exhale, slide your navel towards your right thigh. There can be a deep or a gentle bend to your right knee, so you choose. Feeling this in the belly of your right hamstring. You can even kind of take your left knuckles and rub, or your left hand. We're going to move that 2 more times through. So inhale, walk yourself forward, bend your right knee, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down, frame your front foot. Inhale, your left hand stays down, your right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, drop your right hand to the ground, shift your hips back and straighten your right leg. One more time. Inhale, walk it back forward. Good. Exhale, your left hand stays down. Reach your right arm up. This is your inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand down. No, I just flipped them. It's all right. And exhale, shift your hips back, straighten your right leg. And flex your toes back towards your shin. It's okay if we missed one cactus arm. We'll be all right. Now, if you look down at your right foot, you want your second and your third toes to point straight up and then to kind of flex back towards the shin. The whole time you're here, just breathing in and out. Now on your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee, and then exhale, step your right foot to the back and find the downward facing dog. We won't stay here for very long, but lift your hips, press your chest in towards your thighs. And then inhale, let your knees and your shins come down to the ground. Exhale, zip your belly in and up. Inhale, extend your left leg long behind you. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, press your left heel as long as you can. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Lift your right knee and slide it back behind you. And then your left knee tracks your heel or your ankle. Your hands can be on blocks on either side of you. Your knee and your toes are at 12 o'clock, so breathe here. Good. Roll your shoulders back. Feel the gentle opening of the front of your right hip. Good. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then ground down into the left foot, all 4 corners. Inhale, float your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Exhale, just stay right here for this first breath. Now inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. Exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Good. Inhale, take your arms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands down, frame your front foot. Your right hand stays down. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. Now watch your left knee and your shin. You want them to stay stacking over your heel. Your gaze goes towards your left hand. Now breathe here. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. There might be a baby bend to your right elbow so you're not locking out your joints. Good, y'all. Take one more inhale. Exhale your left hand down to the ground. Shift your hips back and straighten your left leg for your Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Pull your left hip back, your right hip slightly forward. And breathe. Good, y'all. completely exhale. Inhale, slowly walk yourself forward. Your left foot goes flat, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, your hands down to the ground. Inhale, your left arm reaches to open up, twist to the left. Exhale, drop your left hand down, shift your hips back, straighten your left leg. Inhale, walk yourself back forward. Reach your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Inhale, your arms to the sky. Exhale, your hands to the ground. Inhale, lift your left arm to the sky. Exhale, drop your left hand down, shift your hips back and straighten your left leg. Stay there for just a breath or two. Again, you could take your right hand, you could rub your left hamstring, kind of release and get it to open up a little bit more. Keep breathing right here. And then completely exhale. Inhale to walk yourself forward. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. Exhale to step your left foot to the back. Now inhale, bring your knees down to the ground. Press your bottom up. Zip your pit of the belly in. And then exhale, bend your elbows. Drop your chest and your chin to the floor. Look forward. Hug your elbows in. You're like an inchworm. Now inhale, slide your heart forward. Your toenails, your pubic bone down. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. And then exhale to child's pose. Hips to your heels. Your arms reach forward. And just breathe it out here. You roll your forehead from side to side. Awesome, y'all. Now from your child's pose, lift your chest, slide your right hand back, and then weave your, kind of thread the needle, weave your right arm underneath your left arm. Your right palm is facing up, and then drape your chest back down to the ground. Let your forehead come to the earth if it meets there. Otherwise, you could slide a block underneath your forehead, right? And just avoid any tension or pressure in your neck here. Really working into our shoulders, our upper back, our chest. And now press down into your left palm so you can lift and slide your right arm out and reach your right arm forward. Slide your left hand back, thread the needle left arm underneath the right. Your left palm is facing up, and then sit your hips back down towards your heels. Whew. And your chest kind of drapes towards the ground. Can you get all 5 of your left fingernails to press down to the mat? Breathe here. I haven't done this one in a while. Clearly. Press your right hand down into the ground so that you can slightly lift up. Slide your left arm back out and forward. Drape your chest and your forehead back down to the ground. Roll your forehead side to side. And then take your hands back towards your heels so that you can release out of your neck, your shoulders, your arms. And then inhale, press up into your box pose. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back towards your inverted letter V. And just feel this out for a moment, okay? Now, in that inverted letter V, it's okay if it's not perfect, and it's okay if it's still kind of a struggle, right? It's challenging. Good, y'all. Now from here, on your inhale, bend your knees to look forward. And then exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift, the crown of your head forward, the tailbone back, your belly in and up. And then exhale, drape your chest to your thighs, drop the crown of your head down. You can grab onto opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. You do you. You're a rag doll. And let your hands come back down to the ground. Your head hangs low for another breath. Completely exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Roll your shoulders back and down, right? Lift your chest. Okay, y'all. Now you can take your feet hip width distance apart, or they can be, like more together. Here, you choose. We're gonna warm up the legs just a little bit more, and then we're gonna stretch them out some more. So bring your arms out by your side body. It's gonna look like this. So your elbows are in next to your rib cage, and your palms are facing up. Now go ahead and take your hands, so your pinky finger is next to your thighs, but your palms are facing forward. Root down into the four corners of your left foot. Zip your belly in. So it's a little bit of balance challenge as well. Inhale, lift your palms up to face the ceiling. Lift your right knee to a 90-degree bend. And then exhale, press your palms and your right foot forward. Reach. Inhale, draw everything back in. Bend your right knee, elbows to the side body. Exhale, step your right foot down and press your palms down and back. Inhale, lift your left knee, lift your palms, elbows to the rib cage. Exhale, press your left foot and your palms forward. Inhale, draw everything back in. Exhale, step it down, your palms pressing. Inhale, lift your right knee, float your palms up. Exhale, press your right foot forward, your palms forward. Inhale, draw it back inward. Exhale, step it down, press the palms. Inhale, lift your left knee, your palms are lifting. Exhale, your left foot presses, palms press. Inhale, draw back. And then exhale, set it down. One more on each side. Inhale, float your right knee and your palms up. Exhale, press your palms and your right foot forward. Inhale, draw it back in. Exhale, set everything down. Inhale, last one. Lift your left knee, float your palms up. Exhale, press your palms and your left foot forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press it back down. Settle for a moment. Roll your shoulders back and down. Breathe. Nice, y'all. Now inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, hinge at your hips and take the crown of your head down. Inhale, lift your chest halfway, the crown forward, the tailbone back. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your left foot to the back of your mat and soften your left knee down to the ground. Now I'm going to grab my blocks and I'm going to actually put them on their highest level here on either side of my right thigh. Now inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, you can drop your right hand to your block or to your right hip. Lift your left arm and then reach your left fingertips over to the side, to the right side. So you're stretching through your left side waist. Good. Now inhale, take both arms up. Exhale, you can bring your left hand down to your block and reach your right arm up and over to breathe. Let's do it one more time on each side. Inhale, both arms to the sky. And exhale, bring your right hand to your block or to your hip and take your left arm up and over. Inhale, both arms reach. And exhale your left hand down, either to a block to the ground. Your right arm reaches up and over and you stretch. Good. And then inhale, come right back up front and center. And exhale, bring your hands on top of your thighs. Roll your shoulders back on top of your right thigh. Now you might start to straighten your arms out just a little bit, but keep your shoulders back and down. Your right hip pulls back, your left hip pulls forward. Good. And just breathe here for a moment. And when you're ready, take one more inhale. Bring your hands down to the ground as you exhale. And then shift your hips back and straighten your right leg. All right. So from here, inhale, lift your chest and pull your heart forward. And then exhale, rotate your right pinky toe down towards the ground. So you're flexing your right foot towards the top of your mat, getting into your IT band. Good. Now if you need a little bit more, you might slide your right heel in front of your left knee and then do the same thing. Rotate your right pinky toe down. Yeah? Keep pulling your right hip back, your left hip forward. Breathe. And then you can take your right foot back in front of your right hip. Inhale here. Exhale, rotate your right big toe towards the ground. Flatten your foot to the earth and take your outer edge towards the top of your mat. Breathe. And inhale, rotate your right toes back up to the sky. And then exhale, stay right here. Now inhale, walk yourself forward. And then exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot over. Lift your left knee, kind of slide it back. And then take your right toes out to the side edge of your mat. And then roll your right knee open. Your right hip open and come into like a winged dragon. Now you could come down to your forearms and stay wherever you'd like to go. Keep the collarbones open, the belly pulled in and up. Soften your brows and your jaw. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. If you like it, you can kind of take your right hand to your right thigh, not the knee, but the thigh, and kind of externally rotate and go a little bit deeper. Yeah? So that's up to you. But breathe. When you're ready, let your hands come back underneath your shoulders. Lift your chest. Bring your right knee back on top of your right ankle. And then take your right hand outside of your right foot. Heel toe the right foot all the way over to the left. And let's come into our half pigeon. So lengthen your left leg long behind you. And then your right shin can be up to parallel to the top of the mat. Your right heel could come in towards your pelvis. Let your left hip feel heavy. So if you notice that you're rolling over to the right a lot like this, you might take a block and place it underneath your right hip, your right thigh, so that you can kind of lift and square and level, right? Flex through your right foot, drape your chest down, and breathe here. Let everything else go. You're here for just a little bit longer, so relax everything down. Notice where you're kind of gripping. See if you can exhale and kind of release into those spaces. shoulders. Lift your chest with your inhale. Now curl up your left toes. And then gently lift your right hip and come back into a box pose. So take your time. You're going to come to hands and knees. And then reach your right leg back with your inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open, and maybe kind of circle it out after that long half pigeon, right? And I forgot to mention, but if half pigeon doesn't feel great, you know, you could have done on your back like a right ankle to the left knee variation. All right, with your right knee down, curl up your toes. Inhale. Exhale, lift yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale to bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale to your halfway lift. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back. Exhale, drape yourself down. Let your head hang down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the ground. Step your right foot back and soften your right knee down to the ground. So again, I'm going to bring my blocks over. Take them to their highest point. Let my block fall over. And then your left knee is bent and stacking over the heel of the ankle. So you're creating that 90-degree bend that we generally create, right? Get nice and settled in here, right? Get your blocks ready. And then inhale, take your arms out and up, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, your left hand can come to your left hip or your hand to your block. Now inhale, reach your right fingertips higher. And then exhale, oh man, round your right fingertips over to the left. Get into that side body stretch, breathe. Perfect. Now inhale, take both arms to the sky. Exhale, drop your right hand either to your right hip or your block and take your left arm up and over. Might feel a little bit less intense on this side just because your left knee is bent and out in front of you, right? And then you inhale, take both arms to the sky. We do it one more time. Exhale, drop your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop your right hand down and take your left arm up and over. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands down, shift your hips back. Find that half split variation. Let's work into our T-bands just a little bit on the left side. So inhale. Lift your chest, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, rotate your left pinky toe down to the ground. Flex your foot towards the top of your mat. Keep pulling your left hip back. And breathe. Now if you need more, you would turn your toes back up, bring your left knee out in front of your left heel out in front of your right knee, and then turn your toes back out again. Long, strong spine. Now inhale, lift your left toes back to the sky. If your heel is in front of your right knee, slide it back over in front of your hip. Get nice and situated. And then exhale, dial your left big toe to the ground and try to flatten your foot with the outer edge of your foot lining up with the top of your mat. It might not be, right? Mine is not. It's creating a diagonal. And then pull your left hip back. Keep breathing. It might feel humbling and intense, right? And that's okay. And then inhale, turn your toes back up towards the sky. Stay right here for your exhale. Inhale to walk yourself forward. Bend back into your left knee. And then exhale, drop your left hand to the inside of your left foot. So coming into your lizard to start. So your left knee is at a 90 and your knee is over your heel or your ankle, toes at 12 o'clock. Once you're here, then you turn your left toes out to like 10 or 11 You might roll to the outer edge of your left foot, splay your left knee open. You could come down to your forearms. Just be here and breathe. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And stay broad in your collarbones. You can take your left hand to your left thigh if you'd like, kind of rotate it open, look up over your left shoulder. But make sure you actually need more, right? Because not every day you're going to. Some days it's like, I'm good right where I'm at. Awesome, now bring your left hand back down to the ground. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders so that you can lift your chest. Heel toe your left foot back towards the center of your mat. So your left hand is now to the outside of your left foot. And then keep heel toeing your left foot all the way over for your half pigeon. If you want to roll onto your back and go into a supine variation, you'll cross your left ankle over your right knee. Now your left shin is maybe parallel to the top of your mat, or your heel all the way in towards your pelvis, or anywhere in between. Let your right hip get heavy. Slight flex to your left foot. Lengthen your spine, and then exhale, just come all the way down. Let your forehead come down, your arms can reach back, they can reach out, forward, whatever you need them to do. And breathe. You're here for a little over a minute, right? So find that space where you're comfortably uncomfortable. And breathe. Perfect. Y'all maybe like 5 more breaths here. All right, y'all. Slide your hands back underneath your shoulders, lift your chest. And then curl up your right toes so that you can kind of lift your left hip and then slide your left knee back into your box pose. Take your time, right? And then once you're stable, inhale, float your left leg back. And exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hips, circle it out. Awesome. And then extend your left leg long and let it come right back down. So any movements you need to do here, if you need to kind of sway around in your hips. Now, I'm going to say, I would use a softer block for this next part. It's okay if you have a cork block. I would maybe drape a towel or a t-shirt over it just so it's not quite so hard. Although you might prefer the intense sensation, so there's also that. I'm gonna go a little softer. So grab your block, and you know what? I'm gonna start off on the lowest level. And then I'm gonna come down onto, it's kind of like Jane Fonda, you know? Come down onto my right hip. And then you're gonna take your right hand and like cup the side of your head and open your elbow out. And then you're gonna lie down on the edge of this block. So it's gonna really be personal and up to you where you need to place this. So I have my knees bent and I'm gonna move around for a second until I find that spot. I'm looking for it to hit, not on my breast tissue, but more on, it's like a subscapular release. So you're looking more for the space kind of in between your armpit and your shoulder, but not actually your, you don't want it to like get into the breast tissue, right? So really move away from that space. And so that's why I say for everybody it's different, depends, you know, men, women, differences between women's bodies. But you're gonna find a spot where it's like really intense, and you're gonna hang out there for a second. You might even release your head and let your arm extend long and then drape your head down. Ooh, there it is. Yeah, so find that space. Breathe through it. You might even kind of roll slightly forward and then back. And the whole time you're here, you breathe, right? So if at any point you get to a spot and you're like, oh God, I have to hold my breath to stay here, don't stay. Move. Oh man, maybe like 3 more breaths. Find that spot, breathe into it. And some of you obviously might even be able to go deeper, higher on the blocks and stuff like that, right? That was plenty for me. When you're ready, press down with your left hand so that you can lift yourself up. Bring your right fingertips to your right shoulder cap and then roll your right elbow. If you're really rolling your right shoulder, but draw circles with your right elbow. And then go in the opposite direction. Good, y'all. And let's go to the other side. Grab your block. I'm just going to flip over here. Then I'm going to set it up on the lowest because that was plenty for me on the opposite side. Make sure again, so you're not going to get into the breast tissue. You're looking for that space kind of like right there around, because this is intended for subscapular release. So you're trying to get up in there and it's like that space between your shoulder blade, armpit, all that stuff. So that's the area you're looking for. Let me get the shirt all situated. And you can come down onto your left elbow. You can cup your hand around your left kind of temple. And you kind of just Jane Fonda it, right? Find that space whenever you're ready. Start to move around, and you'll know, because there will be that moment kind of like where you catch your breath, because it's intense, and then you stay there and breathe. You can even roll kind of forward or backward. I gotta move around a little bit, find my space here. There it is. Okay. And breathe. Try not to tense up, although I know your body might go into that kind of response mode. Happens a lot when there's intense sensation. We sometimes try to back away, right? Emotionally, physically, all that. Let it in. I don't know where y'all are at if you're listening to the playlist, but Trevor Hall, he said, just, everything will be all right. Just give it a try. What's to lose? All we gotta do is try. Now, if you have discomfort like on your left hip, in this, you could also slide something underneath you. A towel, a t-shirt, blanket, whatever. Take a few more breaths here. And then your right hand is going to press down into the ground. Slowly lift yourself up. And then take your left fingertips to your left shoulder. Lift your left elbow and draw circles in both directions. Good, y'all. All right, you can move the block out and then face back towards the top of your mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Move all your stuff out of the way and roll to the front edge of your sits bones. Now inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, you can have a deep or a slight bend to your knees as you take your chest towards your thighs. Make sure that there's not a lot of space between your ribs and your thighs because this can create straining for the lumbar spine rather than releasing. So ideally, you're lengthening through your spine, pulling your heart forward, whether you're actually touching your feet or not, right? We're not concerned with that. If it happens, great, you know. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. I would much rather see this. Your shoulders back, your chest open, your spine long, and your thighs and your chest connected, than to see this, right? Because eventually that's going to pull onto your back. Now completely exhale. And then slowly walk your hands back up so that your shoulders stack over your hips. And then exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Now inhale, reach your arms forward and up. And then exhale, kind of roll back and down, nice and slow. You're going to come all the way down onto your back. And hug your knees in towards your chest. Inhale here. Open your arms out to a T. Exhale, drop your knees to the left, turn your face to the right. Now, if you're still trying to open up a little bit more through your shoulders, you could goal post your arms with your palms facing up and turn your face to the right. Just keep breathing. Now inhale, one knee at a time back through center. Exhale, drop your knees to the right and turn your face to the left. Inhale, slowly draw your knees back through center. And then exhale, drop your feet down onto the ground. If you want to take a supported bridge, moving into supported legs up the wall, supported waterfall, root your feet down into the ground, grab your block, inhale, lift your hips. And then exhale, set your sacrum kind of down onto your block. And just be here for a moment. This is your supported bridge. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. Just breathing here. There we go. And then one leg at a time, extend your feet up into the sky for a supported waterfall. One foot at a time, bring your feet back down to the ground. Inhale to lift your hips and slide the block out from underneath you. And then exhale, let your spine rest on the earth for a moment here. Take one more inhale. Hug your knees in towards your chest as you exhale. Bring your forehead up to your knees, rounding through your cervical spine. Deep breath in. And Shavasana as you breathe out. Let your legs extend forward, your feet hang comfortably open. Your palms can come down by the side body facing up, or you can rest them somewhere on your belly, on your heart, whatever you need. Close down your eyes. You're more than welcome to switch into a more, a less lyrical song if you would like for your Shavasana. Let your shoulders relax from your ears and just be here, breathe and rest. Alright, y'all. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. To wiggle your fingers and your toes. On the inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll over to whatever side feels good to you, or just rock up to your comfortable, easy sit right where you are. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest. So we take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful that we showed up today. Grateful that we have this practice to show up to. And I appreciate each and every one of you for stepping onto your mats at whatever day or time this happens for you. It's worth it and it's important. So thank you all so much, and namaste.